Welcome back to Ferocious Education, this is Ed. Today we're talking about Sundial Cannabis, going with the ticker SNDL. Now, I've done countless updates onto this one in due diligence videos, but today I do have something new for you with technical analysis updates and institutional buyers. So without further ado, let's jump right into this one. So Sundial. Now from their website, in terms of the general news, there's not much going on. But on the SEC filing, specifically talking about compliance, if you watched my last video, I did exactly say what's going to happen relating towards compliance. And guess what? On the 16th of June, and a lot of people, by the way, missed this, didn't even notice it, they have regained compliance. And this is as a result, well actually I'm just going to read this one here. Sundial Growers Inc was notified on June 15th, 2021 by listing qualification departments of the Nasdaq stock market that as a result of the closing bid price of the company common shares have been more than $1 per share or greater for at least 10 consecutive business days. From June 1st to June 14th, the company has regained compliance with Nasdaq's minimum bid required for continuing listing on Nasdaq Capital Market. So I did talk about that in my last video, and we do have compliance. Now, there's a bit of an issue though there. Take a look into the price point. Right now we're 92 cents. So it's going to be something where you lose compliance, you gain compliance, you lose compliance, you gain one. But this one at least pushes the risk for a reverse split for a bit. Now, in order for them to lose compliance again, they will need to be under $1 for 30 days. So if that does happen, like similar to what happened over here, they can easily lose compliance and hope for another push backwards where they do gain compliance back from that. Now, in terms of other SEC filings, there is a meeting that supposedly is happening that you can vote on July 7th. And a bunch of these things are basic things that all companies go through. For instance, the appointing of auditors, in this case KPMG, as auditors for the corporation to ensure all such, basically their financials, filings, etc. are all basically perfect, nothing's wrong with them, and to transact such further and other businesses that may properly come before the meeting or any adjournment thereof. Now, this might usually refer to reverse split votes, but in this case, we don't have anything to worry about relating a reverse split vote. Now, the other thing I do want to talk about is institutional buyers. Institutions have been picking this one up on the 17th. Now, you've had around almost 5,000 shares, but back in May, that's where a lot of the activity was. It's been really quiet in June. The last major activity was Citadel Advisors buying 3.44 million shares. Now, in terms of the short interest though, it's starting to look in the mid-20s as we get to see the short volume itself. The current short volume of the last day, which is yesterday of trading, 24 million. The day before, around 40 million shares going to the short side. Now, before moving on even further, if you would like to see more contents like this, make sure to click that subscribe button on the bottom right corner and the bell notification button. Now, also don't forget to drop a like, and if you'd like to join our Discord, you can do so. It's totally free in the description below. Now, this is the 33rd update in this series, so I know a thing or two about SNDL. Now, other thing that I do want to talk about is some of the buzz relating to the MORE Act. Now, I did cover a little bit about this one last time. But basically, the MORE Act, the one that really got this one to be pushed ahead in the first place back in December, which is the legalization and decriminalization of the marijuana under a bill called the Marijuana Opportunity Reinvestments and Expungement Act of 2020, is being reintroduced as 2021. And so for this one here, it did fail to be considered in the Republican-controlled U.S. Senate, with Democrats now holding a slim majority in the Senate by virtue of the Vice President Kamala Harris holding the tie-breaking vote of 50-50. This increased the speculation that the bill may be viable in 2020. The MORE Act would remove the Cannabis from Controlled Substances Act, CSAs, ending the long-standing federal prohibition and providing states with more authority to regulate the cannabis activities. Now, key provisions to the act includes decriminalization, tax provision, loan programs, and the notable changes from the 2020 acts include: the MORE Act removes language from 2020 Act that would permit the denial, suspension, or revocation of cannabis business permits based on previous or current legal proceedings involving felony violation or of federal or state criminal law related to cannabis or cannabis products. In addition, the MORE Act requires an annual joint study to be conducted by Comptroller General of the United States, and the Administrator of Small Business Administration reporting on the individuals and entities, receiving equitable assistance under the state and the federal program required or establishing by the MORE Act. And the main takeaway is that 2021 might actually be the year that you get a MORE Act. This is kind of a revamped one to be voted on and reintroduced. And that's not actually even the only one. The MORE Act itself was actually reintroduced by Representative Jerry Nadler from New York and other Democratic representatives, but there are actually a bunch of federal cannabis legalization roundups for summer 2021. For instance, you also have the Sense in Cannabis reform for veterans, small businesses, and medical professionals, also in May 2021. Comprehensive cannabis reform. You also have announced in February 2021 a Secure and Fair Enforcement Act and Safe Banking or In Banking Act, and as well the Hemp Access Consumer Safety Act, etc. Now, on other news as well, you find that the Canadian producers are hoping for the US to ease cannabis prohibition towards perhaps increasing the productions and exports towards cannabis industry towards the US legally. Now, the White House has actually also said that the US President Joe Biden supports decriminalization of cannabis, legalizing pot for medical purposes and changing how marijuana is classified by the Department of Justice to allow for further studies of its potential positive and negative effects. So all in all, things are looking bullish. They have a lot of money, a lot of cash. They're not doing any reverse split. They're not releasing more shares. And it's just more about a ticking bomb from the US legalization. Let's move on now towards technical analysis. Now, from a technical analysis standpoint of view, what you're seeing here is that the 10 SMA was actually above the 30 EMA, which is a bullish thing, but this actual zone itself is called the trading action zone, and the price point is actually below there. Now, the trading action zone is where most positive reversals occur, and that's between the 105 and the 97 cents bracket. It actually dropped down to 92 cents. So that's a little bit of a concerning part. Now, the other thing you're looking at is that the MACD has gone negative on the 16th of June, which signals a negative reversal or accumulation at the best. The momentum here has gone actually negative as well. Now, but the good side of this is that the willing percent R shows a highly oversold part. So again, that in itself is bullish, but the rest is bearish. So it's kind of a double-edged sword situation. Now, both stochastic fast and stochastic slow are dropping downwards, so that is actually a bearish thing. But also you're looking into an accumulation zone or a next support. Now, the moving average bands expect this one to trade 109 at the top, 99 cents in the middle, and 89 cents in the bottom. The Bollinger Bands actually trades on the top of 129 and 70 cents at the bottom. Now, in terms of the chart itself, you're looking at a resistance at 112, 166, 210, 254, 316, and 396. The significant support is sitting down at 24 cents based on the Fibonacci retracements. But when we're going towards price line action, you're seeing a very strong resistance, currently sitting at the 94 cents. Above there, you're looking into the $1.13. Above there, you're looking into the $1.39, $1.64, and then from there on, you're looking into $1.78, $2.01, $2.20, and then you're looking into $2.38 and then $2.96. Significant support, there's actually a strong one here. The 90 cents seems to be a really strong support. Below there, 83 cents. Below there, 71 cents. We start going a little bit down towards the 65 cents, 57 cents, and down to the 42 cents. Comes to the question to Ed, what do you think about this one? Well, definitely for this company, and I did talk about this one multiple times. They have the investments of around almost $200 million, the joint investments with the other banks, or not the banks, sorry, the investment group. And also you're looking at how they're actually buying out different companies, etc., just to increase their portfolio and profitability. And you get to see in no time, they're going to move on towards the US market. And with no debt and that insane amount of cash, it is almost a no-brainer to back this one up. Now, what exact level of price point? This is not exactly clear because things change as we go. But I would see that this one could easily go at least $2 in the next 5 years from my own perspective. What do you think about this one? make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like, and have a wonderful day. Now, if you made it this far into the video, I do recommend that you go ahead and join our Discord server. There's a lot of amazing folks in here. We do a lot of discussions here into the trading floor throughout the day. A lot of people are in there, and we do ask questions. You can ask me any question you would like on there. We do post research and DDs, and we hold weekly chat sessions. And we also do have a lounge in there. So make sure to actually join that and join the fun there. Have a wonderful day and a good one.